We're on a big stage in a big space, so you've got to think big. You've got to think on a scale that fits the park, that fits an audience of 2,000 to 5,000 people. So that's a challenge and an opportunity. We also have some other challenges on a day-to-day basis. The weather becomes a factor. If it's rainy, it's a problem. If it's too windy, then things happen sometimes, like doors blow open when they shouldn't. So it's a bit different than working indoors. I love the play. It's a beautiful play. It was written around 1610. It was one of the last plays that Shakespeare wrote. It's a bit of a pastiche. Part of it is a tragedy, it's part comedy, it's part romance, which I think is very, very exciting. There's always something new coming up in the play. So it's great fun to work on. And in terms of anything unique, you know, we're doing what we always try to do. We try to tell a very clear story, a very interesting story, to have text that is clearly delivered and easily understood. We've got a very theatrical moment planned, but I have to say last night, before we were working on that moment in tech, we could hear the bears from the zoo, which was really great fun. But we've got some exciting theatrical, tricks planned for that moment, which I think the audience will enjoy.
Leontes is the king of Sicilia, where we start the play, and he becomes violently jealous of his best friend, Polixenes, and his wife, with whom he thinks he's having an affair. And he's sort of one of Shakespeare's great studies in the madness of jealousy, along with Othello. It's a play about his anger and his sort of grabbing at ghosts until the consequences of his jealousy come back to him. And then the latter part of the play is about, well, about many rebirths, but one of them is his, and about the possibility of forgiveness. I don't think Leontes is mad. I think he's made one terrible decision. He's made a decision that his wife and best friend are having an affair, and they're not. And he builds everything else sort of logically on top of that. And unfortunately, the root of his decision is wrong, and it drives him to some terrible actions. But he believes in what he's doing. He thinks it's right, and as long as you can get under that as an actor, I think it can be quite fun to play a sort of baddie in that sense. Winter's Tale very specifically deals with what happens when a leader with absolute power becomes tyrannical. And I think that's a very important thing for us to be thinking about actively right now. Shakespeare had a real sense of myth and brings that to his work, and I think we keep coming back to it because we need it. We need these stories. They show us the best and the worst of us in a beautiful, heightened way.